offering his mini keynote has experienced, like all of us, tremendous victories and tremendous losses throughout his life, both professionally and personally. Over the years, he's worked to build an attitude and a strategy for living that focuses on moving forward through both these victories and losses. He'll be sharing that strategy with each of us tonight. Be prepared to win anyway. Win anyway, Rich Hopkins. Rich Hopkins, win anyway.
Seattle, Washington, 2008, the very beginning of June, and I am at the Region 1 Toastmasters Conference, back in the days when we had region conferences. In fact, I am in the contestants' briefing, getting ready for the contest that may or may not send me on my second trip to the World Championship of Public Speaking. In the door come two kids from California. Well, not kids, mid-20s. And they talked to us about the fact that they were planning on making a movie about the fear of public speaking. And they wanted our permission to film that night and use that film in their movie if they so chose. That sounded cool. Because to me, 2 years prior, 2006, I'd taken third place in the World Championship, and I figured this was going to be my year. So they were going to make a movie about me winning the World Championship of Public Speaking. Yeah, no problem. Where do I sign? Well, luckily enough, I did manage to win that night. And over the next few months, as I prepared for the World Championship, I was also preparing in the movie because they came out to Provo, Utah, where I was living at the time, and interviewed my family. They followed me to Toastmasters clubs where I was practicing my speech, all creating what they call B-roll, other things to put in their movie as they went along. Now, I had no guarantee I would be featured in their movie to any extent, but at least the opportunity was there. If I won, what a great marketing piece this would be for me. Now, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Speak. I assume several of you have. If you haven't, this is what it looks like. You can still get it. If you go to Amazon Video, it's free. You can also get it at YouTube, and it's free. I was watching a little bit of it earlier today. And as you watch that movie, you get towards the end to the results, and you'll see a split screen between me and LaShonda Rundles. Now, for me, I'm sitting next to J.A. Gamache, who had taken third place, I believe, in 2001 when Darren LaCroix won it. And I'm talking to J.A., hey, they're going to announce it. You know what? I don't want third place again. Don't want to hear my name. That's what we're all thinking when we're in a contest, right? We don't want to hear our name for third place. Jana, oh, good heavens, I just lost her name. Jana, oh, good Lord. What am I thinking? Jana Barnhill, thank you. Okay. Jana Barnhill was the incoming president that year, and she was making the announcements, and she didn't call my name. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Now, second place. J.A., I don't want to hear it for second place. No problem. Jana didn't call my name for second place. And so this is the big moment. They're going to announce the world champion of public speaking. And again, if you're watching the movie, you see LaShonda, and you see me, and you see Jana. And you hear Jana start her announcement with, if it is time again for a woman to be president of Toastmasters. Now, the minute I hear that, something clicks. I'm not a woman. which means she's probably not going to announce that I'm the next world champion of public speaking. And of course, she announced LaShunda Rundles. And you see LaShunda jumping up, excited, her sister giving her a big hug and pushing her up towards the stage. And you see me going. And at that time, I was very happy I did not have a microphone on. I was incredibly disappointed. I had put so much work, so much time, so much energy into that contest year, as I had every year for the last 7. And to put all that energy in and come up not even placing at all, I really didn't know what to do. And if you saw that movie, you saw that I was not in a good place in my life. They followed me home and interviewed me. It looks like it was a couple of days later, but it was the next day because they were on the plane with me, followed my car back to my house and came in and interviewed me. I'm in a different outfit, but only because I changed. I'm sitting on the couch with my wife, and my wife is all positive. Oh, it's going to be okay. And you see me just sitting back like, She's like, it's going to be okay, right, honey? Yeah. Yeah, huh? I was not prepared to lose. I have always been an extremely competitive person. And at that moment, winning anyway was the furthest thing from my mind. What I needed to remember was the speech that got me to the World Championship. The region-winning speech that I had come up with from a story that I came up with just on the fly, answering a question at my area level contest during the interviews, where I talked about where my competitive streak really started. Bless you. My dad set me on the competitive road. Yeah, I can blame my dad. That's it. Isn't it great? We can all blame our parents for everything. But no, when I was 7 years old, he taught me how to play chess. My very first real exposure to competition. In the first 2 years we played, he never let me win. I think I lost 676 straight games. Not that I was keeping track. But I'd get so upset, so angry. I finally got to the point at 9 years old where I did something most 9-year-olds would never do. I went to the library and I checked out Bobby Fischer teaches chess. Bobby Fischer, of course, the 1970s world champion of chess. In this book, 300 pages of exercises, what to do in any situation you find yourself in on the board. I studied that book for 3 months. And finally, the time came. I sat across the board from my father. Sorry, Dad. Checkmate. Yeah! Whoa! Okay, I might have been a little over the top in my celebration, but it was Dad's fault because he gave me that competitive streak. And I carried that with me into Toastmasters, into my marriage. I can remember playing Scrabble with my wife in the very first year of our marriage, being extremely competitive, trying to win every game. And she said, "Why are you trying so hard to beat me?" I said, "Well, I'm not really trying that hard to beat you. Well, I'm trying hard to triple your score." Oh, not the best thing to say when you're only in your first year of your marriage. It may not be a good thing to say no matter what year of your marriage you're in. Have you ever tried to get the letter K out of your left nostril? I carried my competitive streak with me into parenting with my own kids. I tried to do the same thing my dad did, teach them chess at an early age. The first one who wanted to learn was Riley, who was actually learning at the beginning of 2008. Back in January, at 7 years old, I was playing chess with my daughter. And just like my dad, I never let her win. First couple of months, I think I won 76 straight games. Not that I was keeping track. But she wasn't like me. She didn't get upset. She just set the pieces right back up. And I got to tell you, I got a little worried, a little concerned. I finally asked her, Riley, doesn't it bother you that you have never won a game? No, not really. What? Are you a Hopkins? Okay, I thought that. I didn't say that. Well, Riley, if you don't care about winning or losing, why did you want to learn how to play in the first place? I don't know. It looked like fun. And I wanted to know how the pieces moved. And Daddy, I wanted to play with you. That is how you checkmate Daddy. For her, she redefined what winning was. She redefined her victory. It was no longer about whether you win or lose. It wasn't even about how you play the game. For her, it was who she got to play with. We live in a very competitive world. Before you even know it, you're being compared to other people. Your baby, your parents are comparing you to the babies down the street, talking about how quickly you learned to roll over before the kid down the street pulled up and started to walk. You get into school and you're competing for grades, competing for the chance to go to the best college or get the best first job. In your career, you're always competing to get the next raise, the next promotion. And in life in general, you are inundated with messages telling you that you need more. You need a bigger house. You need better clothes. You need a faster car. And it is only when you attain those things that you will truly be your best self. It is so easy to let the world define for us what winning is. Riley understood that in her own 7-year-old mind. That yes, the world says you had to win the chess game to be a success, but she didn't care. She redefined it. Her victory was who she got to play with. And that was what I forgot after the 2008 World Championship, at least for a while. I forgot who I got to play with. The Toastmasters in my life. The friends I had made over the years, the experiences I had had in Toastmasters. As it turns out, Speak the Movie has turned into a great blessing. No, it wasn't a marketing piece about my victory, but it was a message to the world about what I went through and an opportunity for me to communicate what I went through and what I've been through since. If it wasn't for Speak the Movie, I wouldn't have been able to go out to districts back in the days when you could fly out to districts and give keynotes because nobody would care who I was. I wouldn't have been able to visit all 124 districts and speak once this pandemic began. And I certainly wouldn't be here tonight. 2008 was my greatest loss, but it was also my greatest victory. I just had to get to the point where I could see it that way, where I could shift my perspective the way Riley did, in understanding it wasn't about the win, but who she got to play with. And that victory is not something the world defines for you unless you allow that to be true. You get to decide for yourself what victory truly is. You get to look in that mirror and look at where you've been, how far you've come, and where you want to go from here when you choose to live a win anyway life. Toastmasters.
What a great message. Thank you, Rich. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yeah, exactly. Even though it's canned, believe me, everybody. Yay. Again, thank you so much.